Today we will discuss motion in one dimensional, to motion in 1D. Before starting this chapter, we will just discuss about some earlier classes equations. First is V is equals to U plus AT, where V is the final velocity, U is initial velocity, A is acceleration, and T is the time taken. There are three equations of motion: V is equals to U plus AT, S is equals to UT plus half A T square, where S is the distance covered due to this motion, which is the initial velocity of U and having acceleration A. And third equation is V square minus U square is equals to 2AS. This is third equation of motion. This is Z and this is first. You must all be knowing this. Let's take one example. There is a distance, there is a velocity time graph. You must be familiar with the graphs. What kind of graph this is showing? This is a uniform graph. That this means in this line is straight, this means acceleration is constant. If the line is curvy, then acceleration is varying, because this is a velocity time graph. Velocity, this is given as 40, initial velocity is 0, final velocity is 40, this is A and this is B. So the examiner is asking you what is the acceleration from 0 to A and from A to B. So we have to find OA acceleration by AB acceleration. You have to find OA acceleration by AB acceleration. So acceleration, basically you can directly found if theta is given. So acceleration is given by the tan theta of that particular motion. Why is it that? I'll show you. Tan theta is given as the acceleration. Why? If we consider this from 0 to E, you can take from 0 to E motion. If we using the first equation, V is equals to U plus AT, final velocity is 40, initial velocity is 0, acceleration is again A, if you assume, T is the time taken. Fine. So put T as OA. So acceleration comes out to be 40 by OA. 40 is perpendicular height and OA is the base of this right angle triangle. So OA we will write as same, we can write it as base of this right angle triangle. So if we want to find this tan theta of this tan 30, the tan 30 will be AE by OA. And what is AE? This is same as 40 minus 0, V minus U, or you can change in velocity. That is 40. OA is the time. So acceleration is P by B, 40 by OA. This is also 40 by OA. So this, assume the tan theta of any of the velocity of velocity time graph. Tan theta is will give us the acceleration of that particular motion. So we in the what we have to find acceleration in 0 to OA and divided by the acceleration in AB. So it's simple, OA acceleration divided by AB acceleration will be equal to tan of theta 1 by tan of theta t, that is tan of 30 by tan of 60. And what is tan of 30? Tan of 30 is 1 by root 3 divided by root 3. When we solve it, the answer comes out to 1 by c. So this is the ratio of acceleration in two kind of motion. Negative sign is not used because this we are calculating the magnitudes. Otherwise this is the deceleration. Negative sign has come, but if you solve this with this equation, then negative will definitely come because in the second, when we use the equation of motion for this particular graph, in this final velocity will be taken as 0, initial will be 40 and final minus it will be minus 40. So acceleration comes out to be negative, but we are using just the theta format to calculate the ratio, so that's why negative sign is not there. Otherwise if you go with that equation of motion, for this it is negative acceleration and this is positive acceleration, the ratio comes out to be negative value. If negative positive both are there, then try to take the negative, and if all the options are in positive, then obviously 1 by 3 is the correct answer. There is another question in which particle A, some object moves from A to B in a circular motion. Time taken is 1 second. An object take 1 second to go from point A to point B in a circular motion. That is the time taken. क्वेश्चन में क्या आएगा, थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज करने के लिए क्वेश्चन में आएगा फाइंड दी एवरेज वेलोसिटी बताओ। तो दो चीज़ें होती हैं, तो इसमें बच्चे क्या करेंगे, एवरेज वेलोसिटी क्या कर देंगे, एवरेज वेलोसिटी क्या होती है उसको लिखेंगे डिस्टेंस कवर्ड बाय टाइम टेकन। तो डिस्टेंस कवर में क्या आ जाएगा, हाफ सर्कमफ्रेंस लिख देंगे, जो कि क्या आ जाएगा पाई आर कितना है हमारा 1 मीटर, तो पाई इंटू 1 बाय 1, तो आंसर जिसमें आ जाएगा पाई, जो कि हमारा गलत है। दिस इज नॉट द राइट, बिकॉज एवरेज वेलोसिटी से पूछा है, उसमें एवरेज स्पीड नहीं पूछा है। एवरेज स्पीड और एवरेज वेलोसिटी दो अलग चीज़ें हैं। एवरेज स्पीड क्या होता है हमारा, एवरेज स्पीड होता है टोटल डिस्टेंस अपॉन टाइम टेकन, और एवरेज वेलोसिटी क्या होता है, बिकॉज वेलोसिटी डायरेक्शन कंपोनेंट है, डिस्प्लेसमेंट अपॉन टाइम टेकन। तो यहाँ पर उसने एग्जामिनर ने एवरेज वेलोसिटी पूछा है, ना कि एवरेज डिस्टेंस पूछा है, तो इसलिए ये क्वेश्चन डिस्टेंस कवर्ड वाला गलत हो जाएगा। तो एवरेज वेलोसिटी कैसे निकालेंगे हम, तो एवरेज वेलोसिटी हमारा क्या हो जाएगा, एवरेज वेलोसिटी इज इक्वल्स टू डिस्प्लेसमेंट बाय टाइम टेकन। डिस्प्लेसमेंट हमारा इस केस में क्या रहेगा, फ्रॉम ए टू बी 1 मीटर ऑफ दिस रेडियस, 1 मीटर ऑफ दिस रेडियस, so that is 2 meter. Time taken is 1, so answer is 2 meter per second. So this will be your answer, 2 meter per second, not pi. Pi will be there in the option, तो जल्दबाजी में pi पे टिक नहीं करना है। The answer will be 2 meter per second. एक क्वेश्चन और कर लेते हैं। A man of height h, a man of height h is moving towards the lamp of height h, okay, with a velocity of v, then question में क्या आएगा, what is the velocity of the edge of the shadow casted by लैम्प, लैम्प के द्वारा जो शेडो, इस मैन की जो शेडो है उसका क्या वेलोसिटी होगा। यहाँ पर इसकी शेडो यहाँ पर आएगा अप्रॉक्सीमेटली, तो हमें निकालना है ये v ऑफ शेडो, वेलोसिटी ऑफ शेडो when man is moving with a velocity of v towards the lamp of height h. So examiner is trying to confuse you to use these equation of motion, but there is no necessary of using these equation. That is very basic solving question. It looks like very difficult, but it is very easy if you remember the similar triangle equation of like similar triangle formulas. So what we have to do is we will consider this as one triangle and this is second triangle. These you can prove this similar by various methods, by the SAS or by ASA, whatever you feel like. And if we take this one triangle and this single triangle, in similar triangles the sides of both the triangles are in the same ratio. So what we will do, taking this triangle, velocity of man divided by, we are taking first triangle, so this velocity and this base is taken as a velocity component because this distance is covered due to this velocity only. So velocity of this divided by height, and this will be h minus h. This will be h minus, this height will be total height of a lamp minus height of a man, where h minus h is equals to velocity of shadow divided by height of man. Because in this triangle, if we take this velocity, because shadow is only casted in this like position after the like point where the man is standing. So this is h. So therefore velocity of shadow will be equals to velocity of man into h divided by h minus h. So this is the answer. In this case it is very easy. If you are given if it is numerical type, then the velocity of man is given and both the height is given, then you can easily find the speed at which the velocity is, the edge of the velocity is moving towards the lamp. The main motto of giving this question is try to give you a realistic approach of the physics in the daily environment. So that's why I'm taking those examples which are relevant in the daily life. Okay, one more easy question is there. Let's take some normal questions also. Man is running in the circular motion. Okay, circular, it completes one round in 40 seconds. So the question is, what will be the displacement, what will be the displacement after 3 minutes 20 seconds. 3 मिनट 20 सेकेंड के बाद हमें बताना है कि उस मैन का डिस्प्लेसमेंट क्या होगा. ये लॉजिकल बेस है, इसमें ज़्यादा कैलकुलेशन की ज़रूरत नहीं है. मैन यहाँ इस पॉइंट से स्टार्ट हुआ तो 1 रेवोल्यूशन इट इज़ टेकन इन 40 सेकेंड, तो 1 रेवोल्यूशन हो गया इसका 40 सेकेंड्स में. 2 रेवोल्यूशन हो गया इसका 1 मिनट और 20 सेकेंड्स में. 80 मिनट नहीं होता तो 80 को 1 मिनट 20 सेकेंड हमने लिख दिया. 3 रेवोल्यूशन इसके हो जाएंगे 2 मिनट्स में. 2 मिनट्स में इसके 3 रेवोल्यूशंस हो जाएंगे और 4 रेवोल्यूशंस हो जाएंगे इसके 2 मिनट और 40 सेकेंड्स में. और 5 रेवोल्यूशन इसके हो जाएंगे 3 मिनट्स और 20 सेकेंड्स में। तो 3 मिनट 20 सेकेंड्स में कितने रेवोल्यूशन हुए इसके टोटल कंप्लीट 5। तो इस पॉइंट से यहाँ पर आ गया, तो डिस्प्लेसमेंट क्या हमारा, डिस्प्लेसमेंट हमारा हुआ इक्वल टू 0। तो इसका आंसर 0 हो जाएगा। तो इसका आंसर क्या हो जाएगा हमारा 0 हो जाएगा। ठीक है, तो इसमें इस तरह के क्वेश्चन में जनरली क्या होता है कि ये पॉइंट जब ये टाइम होता है, वो टाइम इसके अकॉर्डिंग दिया जाता है कि पोजीशन या तो यहाँ पर रहेगी या किसी क्वार्टर पोजीशन पे रहेगा, अदरवाइज अपोजिट टू द इनिशियल स्टार्टर पोजीशन। तो ये 4 पोजीशन ही इसमें वैलिड होती है, 1 2 3 4, ताकि आप कैलकुलेशन ईजी कर सको, या तो स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट पे या अपोजिट टू द स्टार्टिंग, या फिर कोई भी क्वार्टर पोजीशन पे हो सकता है। तो ये टाइम का ध्यान रखना है, बस इसमें यही लॉजिक होता है कि टाइम किस तरह से आप काउंट करते हैं, तो ताकि वो किस पोजीशन पे आ रहा है, वही उसकी डिस्प्लेसमेंट यहाँ पर होगा। तो हम डिस्प्लेसमेंट कैसे निकालेंगे, लेट फर्दर। यहाँ पर होगा एजी 2 रेडियस का, इसका जो है डबल रेडियस को डबल कर देंगे तो डिस्प्लेसमेंट आ जाएगा। अगर पोजीशन ये होती या ये होती तो पोजीशन क्या करते, तो हम डिस्प्लेसमेंट कैसे निकालते हैं, फाइनल मान। तो डिस्प्लेसमेंट निकालने के लिए हम पाइथागोरस का यूज़ करते हैं। दिस विल बी द रेडियस, दिस विल ऑल्सो बी द रेडियस 90, एंड वी विल यूज द पाइथागोरस थ्योरम, एंड द हाइपोटेन्यूज स्क्वायर इज इक्वल्स टू आर स्क्वायर प्लस आर स्क्वायर। So this d will be equal to d square is equals to r square plus r square. So d will be equals to r under root 2. So whatever the radius given, so we will just multiply with root 2. Then this displacement for this position will be can be calculated. One more question is there. Based on this average velocity and average speed, a body travel with 6 meter per second and 3 meter per second for a time interval in the ratio of 1:2. Very simple question. A body travels 6 meter per second and 3 meter per second for the time interval in the ratio of 1:2. Suppose this is the travel, 1:2 time ratio means the time taken. So this position is suppose t, so the rest of the position of the time will be 2t, and the distance covered with this much distance is covered with 6 meter per second from A to B, and from B to Z the speed was 3 meter per second. So now what is the logic behind this? We have to calculate the forgot to write even the question. Find the average velocity. Find the average velocity. This was the question. So average velocity, basically average velocity, if we memorize the formula, average velocity is डिस्प्लेसमेंट और डिस्टेंस। सी डिस्टेंस और डिस्प्लेसमेंट यहाँ पे सेम ही रहेगा, क्योंकि ये क्वेश्चन एक 1D का है। ये जनरली इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस में हमें कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है कि यहाँ डिस्टेंस ले डिस्प्लेसमेंट ले, वो उसी तरह के क्वेश्चंस में होगा जब वो स्पेसिफिकली 2D टाइप के मोशन देगा, या सर्कुलर मोशन देगा, या इस तरह की कुछ ऐसी बात करेगा, या फाइनल और इनिशियल पोजिशन सेम रहेगा तब। तो एवरेज वेलोसिटी इसमें क्या रहेगा, डिस्प्लेसमेंट यू कैन टेक, इट डजंट मैटर, डिस्प्लेसमेंट बाय टोटल टाइम। So what is the displacement? Displacement or distance AB plus BC is equals to AB plus BC upon total time is 3t. Fine. How to calculate AB? There is no acceleration, so the distance of AB will go speed into time. So AB is equals to 6 into t, and BC is equals to 3 into 2t is equals to 60. So both the distance covered will be the same, so it will be 6t plus 6t divided by 3t, that is equals to 12t by 3t. tt is there, answer is 4. So average velocity of this journey is 4 meter per second. Average velocity is same as average speed because distance is same as displacement. So in these type of questions, see, when a particular linear motion in which the speeds are different, and the examiner is asked, don't just do 6 plus 3 divide by 2. No, we don't have to do this. I'll try to explain you this why. Because 6, if you just use the velocity, 6 plus 3 9 by you will do 9 by 2, the answer will comes out to be 4.5, which is not equal to 4. That is not happening because we don't know what is the distance traveled with this speed. It can be the case that 95% of the journey is covered with this velocity and only 5% of the journey is covered with this velocity. Then obviously the average speed will be near to 6. It will not even that 4, it will be around 5.5. So it depends what is the distance, average velocity depends what is the distance or displacement covered with that particular speed. Here the answer is coming 4 because both the distance are equal. Okay, so it depends on the distance, what is the distance covered with a particular velocity, for which average velocity basically tend towards the velocity. If there were 3 velocity, then for each velocity we will calculate the this distance and this distance and this distance. We add up all the distance and divide with the total time taken in the journey. That is the right process. Just don't add on just don't take the mean of these velocity given. There is one more question. I'll read out the question for you. 2 balls A and B are thrown from the building. A is thrown upward and B is thrown downwards. Find the velocity on reaching the velocity. What will be the velocity on reaching the ground? This is the building from the window of which one ball is thrown vertically upward and one ball is thrown vertically downward. So examiner is asking what will the velocity on reaching the ground. So option will be given, like suppose VA is greater than VB, second VA is equals to VB, and C VB is greater than VA, and D is cannot determine. So what will be the answer? Answer is definitely VA is equals to VB. Why it is happening? See, many students in the hurry will take the VA will be greater than VB because it is thrown upward and then definitely it will gain some velocity. But it is not correct. We are assuming that VA initially both the velocity will be same. Yes, so we have assumed that VA is equal to initially VA is equals to VB, but the scenario is different. This A object is thrown vertically upward with the velocity at which it has been thrown downward. So it is asking what is the velocity on reaching the ground. Many students will take this answer. I have told you, but correct answer is this, because there is no misconception. You don't have to think that if the velocity is thrown, then this object over here when it coming down would gain the more velocity. That is not correct, because energy conserved in the upper direction will be released in coming downward direction. So definitely at this point when it is coming, this will be VA, which both initially same. So at this point they both are again same. So when hitting the ground, the velocity on the ground on reaching the ground will be same for both the object. If initially they both are same, it doesn't matter in which direction it has been thrown. One question we will practice. Question is, a particle is thrown in such a way that it passes same point at second and 10th of a second. Find the height. So we have to find the height for which it has been thrown. So a particle has been thrown in such a way that that particle will cover this point A, same point in second and 10 second, 10th of a 10 second. So at the starting the time was 2 seconds, and when it comes down again, it crossed the same point at 10th of a second. So total time of a journey is equals to, we have 8 seconds. Okay, so the question is asking find the height. find the height. So we have to consider this. At the maximum position, velocity is 0. So we will take the time, this time is for the total journey, but to calculate for the equation of motions, we just have to take time for the ascent. So t1 is 4 second only. So we will use first equation of motion, or we have to calculate the height. So we can use the also we can use third equation of motion. Also we can use v square minus u square is equals to 2as. 0 minus u square is equals to 2 into 10 into s. Okay, fine. And what was the initial velocity? To calculate this, we can use v is equals to u plus at. Fine. See, it is in the upward direction, so g will be negative. Again, v is 0, initial velocity is this, minus 10 into, that is 4 seconds. So initial velocity was 40 meter per second. We use this velocity over here. So it's 0 minus 40 square is equals to minus 2 into 10 into s, negative. So negative कर गया 1600 divided by 20 is equals to s. 0 से 0 गया 280. So the height, the ball or the object has traveled is 80 meter. It's very simple, it's not difficult. You just have to remember that the total time of the journey is 10 minus 2. And another question. A bullet fired into a wooden block. A bullet fired into a wooden block loses half of its velocity after penetrating 40 centimeter. It comes to rest after penetrating a further distance of what? So that further distance we have to calculate. This is the wooden block at which bullet has been fired with velocity v after penetrating a distance of 40 centimeter. This velocity loses half of its velocity, and we have to find what is the remaining distance at which velocity is 0. So we will consider here two cases, 1 and 2. This is first and this is second. So what we have to see, we have to calculate this distance for this phenomena. For second case, the initial velocity will be this, final will be 0. If we use this, s is equals to we will use 2as is equals to v square minus u square. Final velocity is 0, acceleration we don't know, s we don't know, initial velocity also we don't know. Fine. So we have to calculate this. For a we need a and u. Fine. If we take this case, s 2as is equals to v square minus u square, 2 into a into s is 40 cm, the distance covered for this cases, so we will convert it to 0.4 is equals to final velocity is v by 2, so it's v square by 4 minus this will be initial velocity is v. Okay, fine. So acceleration comes out to be minus 3 v square by 4 into 2 into 0.4. This is the acceleration. Using this in equation 1, this is second and this was first. We use this equation in this, putting the value of acceleration in equation 1. So 2 multiplied by minus 3 into v square divided by 4 into 2 into 0.4, that is equals to minus u square. U it's same. It's v, so we have taken u as v only. It's v because initial velocity for this case, initial velocity for this case is it's u na, so we have to put this v square by 4 because that was u, and u for this case was v by 2, so it's v square by 4 और माइनस से माइनस कट गया और हमारा सॉरी इट्स एच इज ऑल्सो देयर और v स्क्वायर से v स्क्वायर कट गया 4 से 4 कट गया तो हमारा s क्या आया s विल बी 2 से 2 भी कट गया सो क्या बच गया हमारे पास s इज इक्वल्स टू अगेन 0.4 समथिंग हाँ 3 इज ऑल्सो देयर ना 0.4 divided by 3 so s is equals to converted in this is meter because we have converted this into meter 0.4 so this is meter or if we convert into centimeter this is 40 by 3 centimeter so this is the answer if it is in fraction then it is okay if it is in numerical you can also calculate this so this is the distance covered by the bullet after attaining the half of its initial velocity and reaching to the rest so this is the distance so these type of questions are generally asked in not even in NEET but also NEET JEE and JEE mains in many competitive exams the phenomena over this is just simple try to resolve whole case into 2 equations and that's it put whatever you require in the second equation and then it's easy to reach the solution next question a body dropped from top of the tower fall through a body is dropped from the top of a tower fall through 40 meter during the last 2 seconds of its fall the height of the tower is we have to calculate this is the question a body is dropped okay so u is equals to 0 it covers the last 40 meter of the building 40 meter of the building in only 2 seconds so we have to calculate find the total height of this building that is we have to calculate the h so see we know this height that has been covered in 2 seconds if we would be knowing this height then we add 40 in this and total height of the tower will be attained to calculate the height we have initial velocity we only need the velocity at this point which is initial for the first case but final for the second case we'll put as v fine so over here if we use second equation s is equals to ut plus half a t square so s is 40 initial velocity for this case is the final velocity of the second case so initial velocity is taken as v only so v into 2 plus half into so over here 2 से 2 कट गया हमारा और यहाँ से हमारा velocity क्या आया 2v is equals to 40 minus 20 so v is equals to 20 by 2 that is 10 meter per second so velocity at this point at point A will be 10 meter per second fine so now we take the second case considering case 2 for this case we have if we calculate this height we'll take it small h is equals to ut plus half a t square see we don't use this equation because we don't know the time taken in this so we will not use this equation we will use v square minus u square is equals to 2as that is final velocity is 10 which was initial for the first case so it is 10 initial velocity for this case is 0 0 10 square is equals to 2 into a is same as 10 into s. So 10 कट गया तो s is equals to 10 by 2, that is 5 meter. So total height of the building is total height is equals to 5 meter plus 40 meter, that is 45 meter. Again the question same as the previous one, that we just have to resolve this equation, this problem into two cases. See, one again logical learning based question is there. Stone is dropped into well in which the level of water is h below the top of the well. I'll draw the diagram first. This is the well, this is the water, this is the height, the top of the level of the water below from the top of the well, this is the height. Stone is dropped into this. If v is the velocity of sound, if v is the velocity, we will take v as velocity, it is given in the question, velocity of sound. If the velocity of the time t after which the splash is heard is given by, so we have to find what is the time taken for the splash, that splash has been created to get heard by us. So we have to find the time taken to heard the splash. So this is what we have to calculate. So we know the total time taken by the heard will be equal to t is equals to the time taken for the stone to reach the water level, that is t1, plus after the splash has been created, we are considering the splash has been instantly created, the t2 will be the time taken by the sound, the vibrational sound of the splash to reach to our ears, that is equals to t2. First we have to time taken by the stone to reach the splash. T2 I'll explain later. T1, the height h is given, so we will use initial velocity is, it has been dropped, so initial velocity is 0. So the splash, the time taken is v s is equals to ut plus half at square. We use s is h, height of the top of the level from the well. This is 0 because it has been dropped, half into a is due to gravity into t square. So t comes out to be 2h by g under, this is the this is the time taken by the stone to reach the water level. Now the time to see, v is the velocity of sound. So we are considering the velocity of a sound as there is no acceleration on that component because that is a vibrational sound. So we just directly use the distance term formula, that is speed, distance is equals to speed into time. So time t2 will be equal to the distance upon speed. So distance taken by this vibrational sound is h and speed for the sound is given as v. So t2 is h by v. So total time is taken as under root, from here under root 2h by g, 2h by g plus h by v. So this is the correct answer. The only key aspect in this question is that you have to consider the speed of a sound as a normal linear motion, that h by v here we have to put. In the exam what they do is, this is the answer, but in option they will put whole under root. In the hurry, student usually take this answer, so that is not correct. Under root is only with the this part. So this means this is only in the under root, this is not in the under root, remember this. Now let's take next question. A ball is dropped from the top of a tower of height 100 meter and at the same time another ball is projected vertically upward from ground with a velocity of 25 meter per second. Then the distance from the top of the tower at which two balls meet is, we have to calculate the time. One ball is dropped in the downward direction, one is thrown upward. We have to calculate at what distance they will meet. The total height of the tower is 100 meter. Total height of the tower is 100 meter, and the one is dropped, so this means initial velocity for this ball ua is 0, and one ball is thrown upward, ub is given as 25 meter per second. Again we will consider as first case and second case. They both are, one is dropped and one is thrown at the same time, so this means total time, the time taken by ball A and ball B will be the same. So we will equate the time. First we will calculate the time. For first case we will consider this as us from here to striking point, and next will be 100 minus s, the remaining one distance. So we will calculate the time for first case, in which we will use s is equals to ut plus half a t square. S is s over here is 100 minus s is equals to 25 into t plus half into acceleration. It is moving in the upward direction, so it will be minus 10 into t square. This is the first equation of motion. Now we will use equation for the second case, that is s, that is distance. S is equals to ut plus half at square. Over here s is same as s, this is 0 because initial velocity it has been dropped, so it's 0. Half into 10 into its t square, so distance is 10 t square by 2. We will put this in equation 1. That was equation 1. We'll put the value of s over there. So 100 minus 10 t square by 2 is equals to 25t plus, sorry, it's minus 10 by 2 t square. So 10 by 2 t square got cancelled, so 100 is equals to 25 t, and times comes out to be 4 seconds. So time after which the strike is 4 seconds. Now we have to we have to calculate the distance from the top of the tower. So this distance we have to calculate. So we will put this time in this equation number 2. So s was 10 by 2 t square, that is 10 by 2 into 16, that is 5 6 80 meter. So the distance from the top of the tower at which both the balls strike will be 80 meter, and the remaining distance, whatever examiner asked, if you have to find the remaining distance, that will be 100 minus 80, that is 20 meter. A body is thrown upward. Air resistance is this. Find the ratio of time of ascent to the time of descent. Okay. Body is thrown upward. It goes to this. The air resistance, in this air resistance is there. Air resistance is 5 meter per second. So air resistance given as 5 meter per second, and acceleration due to given gravity is given as 10 meter per second square. So what we have to find is, we have to find time of ascent, the time taken from to reach the maximum level, time of ascent divided by time of descent to reach the ground or the same point again. So v is taken as 0, and this is t1 and this is t2. So we'll use for the case 1 or time of ascent, we'll use v is equals to u plus at. Final velocity is 0, initial velocity is u, acceleration will be, when body is moving in the upward direction, the acceleration due to gravity is in the opposite direction, and also the air resistance is acting in the opposite direction. So we will use minus g plus a into t. Minus is used because the direction of acceleration, both the acceleration is in the opposite direction, and they both are added because they are countering they are reducing the speed in the same direction. So g plus a, so from here it is t1 will be equal to u by g plus a. This is the time in a side. So time 2 should be also in the UGA form, so that it can be easy to calculate the this ratio. So time t2. So for now the case 2 on this t1 is we have calculated for the case 1 time. Now we have to calculate t2, then only we can divide and find the ratio. So to find t2 we'll use second law of motion. Let's use s is equals to ut plus half a t square. This we have used because try to resolve the equation in the smallest form so that it is easy to solve. So because we have taken this, because initial velocity for this motion will be 0, that was final for the case 1, but now it has been initial velocity for the case 2 will be 0. So s is equals to half into, and acceleration this will be g minus a into t square. This we all know that why it is minus, because g is greater than acceleration, air resistance acceleration. That is the only reason why ball is traveling in the direction of the gravity. And why this is not a minus g, and why this is written as g minus a, because g is greater than a, as that is the only phenomena why this ball is moving in the direction of gravity. And there is negative in front of a because acceleration due to resistance is always in the opposite direction of motion. This is t2. So what we will do now, we will put the value of s so that it can be resolved easily. So s can be calculated from this v square minus u square is equals to 2as. Okay, fine. As we can also calculate from this distance, first motion. What is this? V square minus u square is equals to 2as. What was final velocity for the case 1? This we are doing this for the case 1 to calculate the distance. So what is the final velocity? 0 minus u square is equals to 2 multiply by acceleration in case 1 was minus of g plus a, minus of g plus a into s. So minus got cancelled, so x comes out to be u square by 2 g plus a. Put this value in equation 2. This is equation 2. Why we have put this distance, why we calculated? To convert this s in the form of UGA, so that t1 t2 ratio can be calculated. So s is u square by 2 to g plus a is equals to half into g minus a into t2 square. Fine. Both 2 got cancelled. From here, taking the under root, t2 is equals to u by under root g plus a and g minus a. Fine. So now we take the ratio of both the values. I'll write it over here. Put t1 is equals to u by g plus a. I'll note it down over here. So what we have to calculate? Time of reaction by the t1 by t2. So t1 by t2 will be equals to u by g plus a divided by u by under root g plus a g minus a. Fine. U got cancelled. Again this form as under root plus a. Okay, see this you must be knowing 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2, or 4 can be written as root 4 into root 4, because it's again 2 into 2, that is same as 4. So value can be written in 2 of its root. So it's under root g plus a, we separate both these, under root g minus a divided by g plus a will be separated by roots g plus a into under root g plus a. G plus a, one number is formed into 2 if it's under root, so this got cancelled. So answer comes out to be under root g minus a divided by under root g plus a. This is also a theorem. Sometimes directly a question comes in exam and you have to tick one of the option. So if you can remember to avoid all these calculations during the exam, so just remember that t1 by t2 is equals to acceleration under root of acceleration in opposite case, like ratio of those accelerations. So g minus a divided by under root g plus a. The ratio of ascent to the ratio of descent will be equal to the inverse of ratio of their acceleration, under root of ratio of their acceleration. This you can remember. So that's it in 1D. Let's discuss another topic in the